No matter how the cachet of the WNBA elevates, remember, it could have been even better. You messed it up. You messed it up.
It is possible that Caitlin Clark received an offer from Europe that may permanently alter the WNBA.
I'm never going to financially recover from this.
The WNBA is in a panic as the likelihood of Caitlin Clark moving to Europe increases. Perhaps you should have considered treating your big star with a little more respect now that Caitlin will gravely damage the WNBA. After all, who would watch without CC?
She will do her best. I know she's talented, but she's not strong enough and she doesn't have enough experience right now to compete at this.
These are the individuals Caitlin had to endure the entire season of "you have no experience, you won't handle the WNBA," and look what transpired. She stormed through, shattered records like there was no tomorrow, and left the WNBA frightened.
Nonsense about things that Caitlin was doing wrong when, in my personal opinion, she was doing nothing but going out there and playing great basketball every night and ignoring the hate that was coming to her from all sides. Not only
Caitlin was left with no option by these analysts. It's time for a fresh start in a league that genuinely recognizes its top players and doesn't allow them to be singled out. The persistent fouling and hostility towards her is enough.
What the NBA became. Even when Jordan was ascending and the league clearly saw that was the dude, and Nike was marketing the living hell out of Michael Jordan. I want to be like Mike. It was still Bird and Magic.
According to reports, Caitlin Clark has been given an incredible deal to perform in Europe. It appears that she is prepared to accept the offer, but there is more to the tale. Despite all the attention and admiration from fans and her undeniable impact on the game, Caitlin Clark has faced numerous challenges in the WNBA, from a lack of proper support on the court to the league's inability to truly protect its star players. These challenges have culminated in what could be one of the most shocking career decisions we've ever seen. Caitlin has had enough of the way she's been treated in the league and is finally making the decision to leave the league. Caitlin Clark's decision to relocate to Europe from the WNBA, let's face it, the WNBA hasn't always treated Caitlin Clark with the decency or consideration that a star of her caliber deserves. Whether it's the lack of protection on the court, the persistent targeting by other players, or the league's apparent indifference, it's obvious that Clark has had enough. We've seen opposing players get away with excessive physicality when guarding Clark, frequently crossing the line with aggressive, sometimes dangerous play. It's almost as if the league has allowed.
Making a basketball argument.
We're not saying we were making a basketball
No, Andrea, I'm not going to let you do that.
Go ahead,
I'm not going to let you make it seem like Caitlin Clark was averaging 5 points a game. At the time, she was still averaging 16 points a game, which was more than a lot of other guards that made the team. So don't do that. Don't make it seem like she was averaging 5 points and this was like a handout.
No, it wasn't a handout.
Look at her numbers. Look at her numbers comparable to the other guards that were on the team.
You could even argue that the WNBA has allowed this behavior to continue because they are aware that Clark's presence on the court attracts attention and increases viewership. After all, a little drama gets people talking, but for Caitlin, the lack of protection has gotten to the point where it's just no longer worth it. Fans have noticed that social media platforms have been flooded with complaints from her supporters, who have been calling for more protection, fairness, and respect for their favorite player. Despite the outcry, the league's apparent indifference has left Clark feeling abandoned.
Watching women's basketball right now, it all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to...
Caitlin Clark is finally listening to her supporters after going through season after season of being unfairly singled out and abused. She has chosen to take charge of her career by quitting the WNBA because she has had enough of the league's disinterest. Clark is seeking a new chapter in which her enormous talent, commitment, and influence on the game will be fully appreciated as they ought to have been for a long time. Now, let's discuss the consequences. There's no need to sugarcoat the fact that the WNBA is about to go through a severe slump because they failed to realize how important Caitlin Clark was to the league's success. With Clark gone, the the WNBA will immediately suffer a decline in both viewership and income. Whether they were casual spectators or ardent basketball fans, Caitlin Clark was a huge attraction for the league every time she took the floor. The fact that
she was getting all of that, yet all of these eyeballs were coming to the league because of her. The Indiana Fever was turning away games into home.
Now that she's leaving, the WNBA faces the enormous challenge of filling that void. Sure, there are other talented players in the league, like DJ Carrington and Angel Ree, but let's be honest, they don't have the same ST power or magnetic appeal that Clark brought to the game. That's not to diminish their abilities. Both are phenomenal athletes, but Caitlin Clark was operating on a completely different level. People weren't just drawn to the WNBA, they were drawn to watch her because of her fearless shooting ability to win games. The extent of the Caitlin Clark impact is only now becoming apparent to the WNBA. Losing Clark would result in millions of dollars in lost revenue from ticket sales, merchandising, TV deals, and sponsorships. It will all suffer greatly, and the worst part is that it was completely avoidable. The league had every opportunity to protect Caitlin on the court and give her the support she deserved as the league spokesperson, but they failed to do so.
Day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%. Between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%. Between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%. What Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days.
They will now pay the price for allowing problems to develop. Caitlin's departure marks a turning point that could have disastrous effects on the WNBA's future. They will soon learn how much they lost. So, what exactly has Caitlin Clark been offered in Europe? Anyone would be stopped in their tracks by the startling figures being flung around. The deal she has been promised, according to several sources, is significantly better than anything the WNBA has ever offered in the EuroLeague, where players are regarded like royalty. Caitlin is receiving a once-in-a-lifetime chance. In addition to earning a lot more money, she will be able to play fewer games, which will give her more time to recuperate and perform at her best. The choice to relocate abroad was essentially made for her.
Be a team overseas who would love to snatch Caitlin Clark away from us and give her a crazy offer. I mean, Ice Cube was about to give her $5 million to play in less than 10 games.
Europe isn't just giving Caitlin a contract, they're giving her the opportunity to become the face of the entire league. Imagine Caitlin walking onto the court as the lights go down and thousands of fans erupt into thunderous cheers. The energy in those crowded arenas is palpable as she steps up to take a deep three, but this time it's different. These fans aren't just there to watch a basketball game. They're there for her. The EuroLeague is aware of this and is ready to make her the face of their brand.
Do you care?
It's not just about giving Caitlin a new platform to rule. It's also about establishing her as the world's biggest basketball star with crowded arenas full of ardent supporters who admire and applaud every move she makes. Europe is prepared to ensure that Caitlin Clark shines brighter than ever before, and it's obvious that she's going to enter a new level of glory. However, Caitlin isn't the only one making significant movements. In search of greater possibilities, more WNBA players are beginning to follow suit. Abroad, for instance, Kelsey Mitchell and Nalissa Smith have allegedly chosen to play in China over the offseason, while Caitlin is traveling to Europe. WNBA players are gradually adopting this trend as they become aware that playing abroad not only pays much more, but also gives better care in general. The WNBA's wage structure just cannot compete with what overseas leagues are giving, both in terms of income and the quality of the experience.
Together, and you need a star. And she is.
Players like Caitlin, Kelsey, and Nalissa are seeing the advantages of fewer games, more rest, and higher earnings, making the decision to play internationally almost a no-brainer. When you compare the schedule's compensation and player care offered overseas, it's easy to understand why more athletes are choosing this path. Whilst all this is going out, Jason Whitlock believes Caitlin should star an unrivaled league where the best of the best compete against each other in the off-break of the WNBA. This would lead to players like Kelsey Mitchell and Nalissa Smith not needing to travel abroad to earn their wage. Instead, they can make their money in America. With an unrivaled league full of talent, this will give players better opportunity And they will be able to make something out of this rise of talent. In the women's game, we have some incredible prospects coming through, yet they aren't going to receive the pay they deserve. Instead, they will have to generate their income through sponsorships. But this unrivaled league idea adds a whole different spectrum to the table. Back to Caitlin Clark and the WNBA, this shift should serve as a massive wake-up call for the women's basketball. The league is at serious risk of losing not just Caitlin Clark, but other top players as well. If the WNBA doesn't step up and reevaluate how they compensate and treat their athletes, they could face a mass exodus of talent. The reality is obvious: players no longer have to settle for less when international leagues are prepared to provide them so much more.